And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. Help me to build this community. Hit subscribe, watch, comment, keep the comments coming, and share with your family and friends because the stupidity, it's never going to end otherwise. Meanwhile, yesterday, Karoline Leavitt's presser was actually one of her worst in recent weeks. In South Korea, just know this. The Democratic candidate won the presidential election yesterday, and a big part of his campaign was checking presidential power. So a reporter goes and asks her if the White House had a response to the election in South Korea. Just watch her response, or her lack thereof. Play the clip.
Does the White House have a reaction to the results of the election in South Korea?
Yes, we do. In fact, let me find it here for you. It should be somewhere in here. Thank you. We do not, but I will get you on, Jeff. Go ahead.
Thanks, Kelly. Two questions on trade.
Oh my God. I'm wrong. Meanwhile, Caitlin Collins asked about the big, beautiful bill and the GOP senators that are actually reaching out and speaking out against it. Play that clip.
Caitlin.
Two questions for you as well. On the big, beautiful bill, you said recently that it is, quote, blatantly wrong to say that it adds to the deficit. You essentially said that an estimate from the Congressional Budget Office and other scorekeepers you believe are wrong. But Republicans like Ron Johnson and Rand Paul disagree. They are saying that it will add to the deficit. That is their concern. Is the White House's position that those two Republican senators are, quote, blatantly wrong?
It is. Those senators, it's not news that they disagree with this president on policy, and the president has vocally called them out for it and for their not having their facts together. I would add.
Well, okay. So when you start to listen to what Ron Johnson or Rand Paul have to say, and they start talking about how it is going to have to, no matter how you slice it, have to involve Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and so on. There's only discretionary money of about $1 trillion. So how are you going to cut $2 trillion? None of this makes any sense. So instead of coming back with a proper retort on why Trump is right and they're wrong, it's only that, well, they just simply disagree with the president. No, they don't. In fact, Rand Paul has never been a detractor. Neither has Ron Johnson been a detractor of Trump. It's just wrong. And Abby Phillips, she goes and she breaks it down, Leavitt's claims on the CBO. And I want to show you the facts. All right? Facts matter. Play the clip.
Let's unpack that for now. As Leavitt says, the CBO can't be trusted because its analysis of Trump's 2017 tax cuts were so off, but they weren't. Let's look at the numbers. It overstated growth for 2018 by just 0.3% and underestimated growth the next year by just 0.2%. And while revenue for the last 7 years was $1.5 trillion higher than the estimate, experts say that is chalked up to inflation and the pandemic. Okay, so let's say you think the CBO is wrong or is partisan, even though Speaker Mike Johnson thought it was credible when Biden was president. There are 3 other independent reports that also say that the bill is going to balloon the deficit and save nothing close to what the White House is claiming. This has been clear from the very beginning that this bill is a spending bill. It raises the deficit. You can say it's for a good reason or a bad reason, whatever it is. But why do they continue to misdirect, lie to the public about what it actually does?
Well, I think
because Trump's sole presidency is going to be predicated on this big, beautiful bill. This is going to be that one big, giant piece of legislation that he thinks he's going to be able to rest his hat on for all eternity, almost like Obama's Affordable Care Act. Unfortunately, this big, beautiful bill is a lunk of shit. Meanwhile, Leavitt then spoke about that no staffer in the CBO has supported a Republican since the year 2000. I don't think she made the point that she was aiming to. Play that clip.
Also point out, I don't think many people know this, there hasn't been a single staffer in the entire Congressional Budget Office that has contributed to a Republican since the year 2000. But guess what? There have been many staffers within the Congressional Budget Office who have contributed to Democrat candidates and politicians every single cycle since. So unfortunately, this is an institution in our country that has become partisan and political, and we are very confident in our own economic analyses of this bill. There is $1.6 trillion in savings, and our Office of Management and Budget Director, Russ Vought, is a fiscal hawk. He is well known in this city for being a well-respected fiscal hawk. He has tools at his disposal to produce even more savings. And as you know, the White House will be sending our rescissions package to Capitol Hill today.
And on immigration.
Yeah, let me be very clear. He's not a respected fiscal hawk either. He's the architect of Project 2025. Meanwhile, a reporter goes on and asks Sweet Karoline about the recent attacks from Ukraine. Meanwhile, the crazy thing, they blow up a bridge with like $10,000 worth of dynamite. They're using these, $100,000 drones to knock out, $50 million aircrafts and so on. But she still finds a way to blame this all on Joe Biden. Play the clip.
On Ukraine, it's been a couple of days since Ukraine made that audacious drone strike on Russian airfields. The president hasn't said a word about it, and usually he's not shy about making his thoughts known on the war. Well, yeah, it's not bad. On the war or any other subject. What have you heard from him on this audacious drone strike? Is he surprised? He said that Zelensky didn't have the cards when they met in the Oval Office a few months back. Does Zelensky possibly have some cards that the president hadn't known about?
Look, the president's thinking on the Russia-Ukraine war as it stands, I spoke to him about it just this morning, is he remains positive at the progress that we've seen. Again, he urged both leaders to sit down and talk directly with one another, and they did that. Russia handed over a memorandum of peace, or a peace plan, or a suggestion of one, I understand, to the Ukrainian side. They also agreed upon the exchange of prisoners or hostages from each other's countries. So he remains positive about the progress that we're seeing, but he also is a realist, and he realizes these are two countries that are at war and have been for a long time because of his predecessor's weakness and incompetence. So he's working hard to solve this conflict, and that's where his mind is right now on it.
Yeah, he's a realist. Who is the one that said they were going to end this in 24 hours? Meanwhile, another reporter asks Karoline about the reports coming out that the acting head of FEMA, right, emergency management, didn't know that there was a hurricane season in the United States. Play the clip.
Well, of course, we know that we are into hurricane season now, and I know FEMA is taking this seriously, contrary to some of the reporting we have seen based on jokes that were made and leaks from meetings. But Secretary Kristi Noem and the FEMA leadership are all over this. They are committed to ensuring that federal resources and tax dollars are there for Americans in need, and the president continues to review requests for emergency aid and carefully considering them. However, this president has made it clear we're not going to enable states to make bad decisions with federal tax dollars and then have the federal government later have to bail these states out. We want to see states be responsible with their tax dollars to do as much as they possibly can, and then the president will deeply and thoughtfully consider any requests for federal aid that come to his desk. And I think some of the media reporting we've seen on this is frankly sloppy and irresponsible. There are serious people who are taking this issue seriously, starting with the president himself, who, as you know, on his first domestic trip back in office, visited both North Carolina and California, both of which were, of course, hit by natural disasters when he wasn't even president, but he took ownership of that and visited those places and those people immediately.
Yeah. Meanwhile, another reporter goes on and asks Leavitt about the complications with deporting crop farm workers. Play that clip.
I want to bring it back to the way you began your briefing, talking about the president's mass deportation program and his priorities. 40% of crop farm workers in the U.S. are undocumented, and that's according to the Agriculture Department. Do they have a carve-out in terms of the president's mass deportation program?
The president and the Trump administration have been very clear. If you are in the country illegally, you are subject to deportation.
Is there any concern that, given that large number, if that number is correct, 40% of crop farm workers being undocumented, that could impact the food supply here in America if those individuals that obviously help pick crops all across the country are deported en masse?
Again, this administration is focused on deporting individuals who are in our country illegally. It's something we have to do. We cannot allow the previous administration's invasion of our country of illegal immigrants to continue. We just can't have it. And this is a law and order president. As for our farmers and their concerns, they have a president who has their backs and listens to their concerns and hears them. But we also have a legal pathway to come to this country and work specifically for agricultural work. So
yeah. Wait till the cost of your strawberries are now going to be like $30 for a little tub of it, a little barrel. Meanwhile, while Trump's goal of 90 deals in 90 days becomes less and less plausible, as if it was ever plausible, a reporter asked if the UK deal was in writing. And I want you just to remember, the UK deal is one of the few where the United States actually has a trade surplus. So why we're even talking about the UK, I don't know, but it's a great question anyway. Play the clip.
It's been just about a month since Prime Minister Starmer and President Trump announced that the U.S. and UK had reached a trade deal,
right.
or at least a framework for the deal. Now there are at least some conservative MPs in London who are complaining that Parliament has not yet seen the text of any deal. So I'd like to ask you from this side of the pond, is there a text for the deal ready to be released, submitted? And if not, when can we expect it? And then I have one more.
There's most definitely text with this deal. There is language that this side has seen. You'll have to ask the UK Parliament why they haven't seen it from their own government. I obviously can't answer that question.
Yeah, she's just right off that topic. I don't give a shit about your question. And if this wasn't the stupidest, the worst presser that you've seen so far, I want to end on an insane clip. An insane clip of a reporter asking Karoline, who was speaking about changing, imagine this, changing Pride Month, the name of it, to Family Month, because it seems to be offensive to MAGA. Play the clip.
See you.
Good to see you. Congresswoman Mary Miller suggested that changing Pride Month to Family Month. I would personally like to see maybe a nuclear family month. Some people are saying, let's get a Veterans Month. Does the president have any plans on making a proclamation, or is it just going to be June this year?
Well, there are no plans for a proclamation for the month of June, but I can tell you this president is very proud to be a president for all Americans, regardless of race, religion, or creed.
Yeah. Amazing. Let me be very clear. These type of pressers, I don't even know why anybody shows up. It's like going to a comedy cafe. There's just, unfortunately, the comedian at the podium, it's just not funny because it affects each and every one of us. So again, subscribe, watch, comment, and share with your family and your friends so that way come 2026 midterm, we're so big, we're so unstoppable. We put an end to this nonsense. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.